Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. You're here with your girl Netta Dowdell, and I got a special one for you. So I know I haven't been on the podcast for a while, but I've learned tons of things in the process. So I want to share that with you guys. All right, so literally July was a year, and if you look back at my videos, you see around September, on Facebook, I was reminded in July, that was when I took the leap of faith to step out of education. Well, leave at the time, I was thinking permanently leave education, but now I realize it was a step back. But that's hints for what's to come. In that moment, I was really pouring out and trying to figure out what God wanted for me at that time. And there were several realizations that had come in the moment when I really felt like we needed something outside of what we were used to. And then also, I really felt compelled to go to Costa Rica. I was just telling everyone that. But then also, what I was mostly compelled to do was let go of everything and see what God would put in the place of what I had let go. And those things I had for years. We went on this debt-free journey starting in 2018. So I've been 4 years deep with personal development. And we went on this journey with being debt-free, so that meant that a lot of the things that we had for like 5 years, including our bed and our couch was used and all these various things. So it was kind of hard letting go of that phase of myself, really scraping by and trying to figure it out. But I do think that you need that foundation before you jump off into business where thousands and thousands of dollars that you're not used to having. Then you have to manage that, because that's very difficult also. So I had a couple things that I wanted to share with you guys. So I tried full-time entrepreneurship, and one of the quotes that I pulled out of the Lean Startup is, you have to think of this career or this process as an engine. And if you're building an engine from scratch, when you first start, it's not going to immediately start. And once I read that, and then I had that realization, I was pretty sure that I was too difficult or too hard on myself. If I'm a first-year engineer, even that in itself, building an engine from scratch is almost impossible, and they're being trained to do that. So when you're not being trained and you're out here by yourself, don't take it too hard. Use it as another opportunity to give it a better go. And that's what life has been. And I'm so much more happy and confident in my abilities once I know, hey, once you try something the first time, you're not going to be the best at it. And it's really a mind funk, because I play games on my phone, and the first time the algorithm hits, or the first time you play a certain level, that's going to be your best chance at beating it. So you're like trying your hardest the first time, and anytime after that, you literally have to try 30 times before you can get it. But in reality, it's really the other way around, right? You will try a couple times before you actually get it, and that's really the best situation, because then you're able to replicate it, and then you're able to help others with the information. If you're just doing it and you randomly become successful at it, it's a way less chance that you'll know what you're doing, and you'll be able to help anyone else with it. So good on that front. So the first thing I wanted to share was, after a year, I realized that I really didn't like myself. And I didn't like myself because everything that I had accomplished had come to me easily. I was always good academically, so I went into teaching, and then I helped kids succeed. And even with all of the successes and the relationships and stuff, I didn't really feel quite challenged. And then when I did start being challenged, it was a fight. It still is a fight every single day to be proud of like what I accomplished, but I feel so much more in tune with myself now. I know what's really good, I know what's really off, and I know how to congratulate myself and I have positive affirmation. So that's a whole change within itself. Let's see what else. I realized that I had a lot of character flaws. So everything that I thought I was good at, because one year I made a whole bunch of money, you know, that sophomore year or that sophomore album is much more impactful because then you're writing out systems for everything. And like, hey, I hit this and I want to hit it again and again and again. What are the systems that are enabling you to do that or keeping you from falling under? What are your support systems? Is it just on stilts? What's going on? And what I realized is I put a couple of videos out on social media, TikTok or whatever, and those kind of blew up. And my calendar was full. When I say full, it was booked. And I'm having conversations, you know, working on my sales, going into an industry with sales, just like really, really trying to ramp it up. And then what I realized was I don't have the character to do a lot of those high impact things. So consistently meeting with people, consistently being on the phones, consistently helping people, like that was difficult for me. And that was a difficult pill to swallow because this was everything I was asking for. But the character thing is going to have to be built upon. So I'm gonna have to do things consistently, day to day, before I'm able to interact with people and do my program and all of that. And that was a difficult pill to swallow because you want all the money, right? But the responsibility that comes with it, there was nights and I really didn't feel like working. I, you know, would rather be with my husband, but I like the money, you know, sort of thing. And I was like, wow, I'm like this at work. Maybe it's not a work thing. I had to have those realizations with myself. And then in addition to that, my number two was I didn't keep commitments. So that was another character flaw. I would tell my husband, you know, I'm realizing it was really small things. I would tell my husband, oh yeah, I'll do the dishes tonight. Was never done. Or I would tell my husband, yeah, I'll do the laundry today. Laundry wasn't done. These are small things, and then you realize going into business that your commitments mean everything to everyone. So if you start a podcast, you're gonna have to continue to do it. If you submit yourself to do social media, you're gonna have to keep on doing it. And in addition to the quote from Lean Startup, I realized, hey, every day hammering out is not gonna be the best for me because I'm already, or I was already a really flaky person. So these batches are going to help. But then also outside of that, I am going to have to put a schedule in place where I'm putting at least something out every day and then coming back and making sure that the people that are looking for the information are actually getting it. So that commitment. And then I am always the person in all of my friend groups that has a lot of business acumen, like understand this from afar. I can give you advice on this. If you're asking for it, what exactly should you be working for? I'm that person. But then living that life is a total different conversation. So one of the big trendy things is passive income. Like everyone wants passive income. Everyone wants passive income. We went to Costa Rica and we was there for a couple of months and we learned so many things. But one of the biggest things that we realized is like passive is not passive and it won't be passive for a while. And if somebody is selling you a passive income, it's probably A, not very profitable, and B, probably a scam. Mostly because the first, I would say 5 years, you're gonna have to dig it out. You're gonna have to eat, poop. You're gonna have to really be on it in order for your business to get where it needs to be so that you don't have to be in it so much. 5 to 8. I'm telling you, 5 to 8. And right now I'm going into year 3 and I'm freaking excited because I learned a lot and I ate poop for a while. I had bad partnerships, like whatever you can think of happening, it happened. And I've learned from that. So I'm excited to go forward and have a year where I not only have the experience, but I have the systems now. So year 1 was like experience, eat poop. Year 2, systems. Year 3, come on now, I'm not even mad. All right, so talked about 2 different levels. Oh yeah, also our Walmart was terminated. So we were hoping for 20 a month. And we were really passive in that we would just pay people and then we would they would find the items and then they would get paid, a certain amount. And then we would just like get the rest of the profit. And in doing that, we realized that a lot of the protocol, dropshipping and all that was not helpful for our account. And Walmart straight terminated. So it was suspended once before, I think. And Amazon has been suspended once before. I think Amazon has been suspended twice. So definitely not doing anything to get that 3rd time. But our Walmart was suspended one time, then it was suspended again, and then it was terminated. So right when we started to really get involved and make sure that what we were putting out was quality, it was going through all of the point checks and all that. Right when we got to that point is when we were terminated. So we no longer had the Walmart, and then Walmart was doing like 13K, and then Amazon was doing 5K. So between the both of those, we were like, okay, 20K, 20K, 20K. We had a line of credit, we had a loan, and we were like, okay, as long as this keeps on rolling, we're gonna be straight. Boom, Walmart gets terminated. So Walmart was actually what was going to be paying the loan or whatever. But good thing we had money in order for the loan to be being paid. And these business loans, like I would not suggest a business loan. These business loans are crazy. Right now we pay $500 a week. And we took out like 12, and we've been paying $500 a week since like April, May, June, July, August. It's actually not going to be paid off until November. So I would say not April. It was like the end of April. So let's say May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So that's 7 months. And I think the loan was like 12K. So we're going to end up paying back at least 14, 15K because it's like 550. And yeah, it was definitely a lesson learned. So now we've pivoted to cash flow and like 10% credit. So definitely not heavy on the credit. And we're recalibrating and pivoting and doing all those things. And we are doing so in our course also, because I think what we were doing could get you to 10K. What we were doing could get you to 10K, but it's not going to get you past that. So we have paused the program, and we're really getting our systems together so that we could replicate that. And then what else? Faith is the best guidance. So when I gave up and we sold our house and went to Costa Rica, that was me and our family saying, whatever we thought was right, was good, was what you wanted, was the place that we needed to be in, whatever we thought it was, God, show us. And they say how you know whether something is wise is whether it bears fruit. And those decisions that we made for our store did not bear good fruit. So we are definitely glad that we let that go. I had a feeling in my gut the entire time it was going on. So like I wasn't too upset about it. I was upset that didn't give myself the opportunity to know show, and I didn't believe in myself. But as you challenge yourself more, then you'll start believing yourself more and realizing like, hey, that feeling does not lie. So definitely depending on faith here on out and guidance, elders, all of that to be successful. And then the last one, number 5, is like we are far more resourceful now. We use what God has given us and we knock stuff out. So that looks like taking the bus if one of our spouses has a car. It looks like maybe taking an Uber. Because if we take an Uber once a week and we ride the bus the rest of the month, you're looking at like a max of $200. And the bus is $100 a month. If you ride it every single day, and then our car note is like $400, and the insurance is like $200. So that's like $600, not including gas. Gas is $300. So our car is like $1,000 a month, and the bus and maybe Ubers, that's gonna run you a max of $200. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't necessarily say not have a car, but what I'm gonna say is we're not in a place where we need 2 cars. And if somebody needs to get somewhere, we have a bus pass. No ifs, ands, or buts. Being more resourceful also looks like buying things from the farm, which is another reason why I was glad we went to Costa Rica. It was a whole healing process. I'm thankful for that. And even though it was a lot of money, I took a year off of work, and that's nothing anyone in my family has ever been able to say. It has been so healing. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned that I'm egotistical, I'm selfish, and that therefore led me to be more submissive to my husband. And I'm more happy because he's also happy. I submit to him in what he wants the food to taste like. So I cook to eat. He cooks to enjoy. It's like an experience. But now I'm more submissive as far as you want to cook like this, and I'm going to help you because that's what that looks like. I do not desire to ever be a chef or cook that caliber, but there are ways that we could meet in the middle. Whereas before I would be like, oh my gosh, you're always complaining, sort of thing. And then our house is more kept. We have more joy in our house. I have a better regimen for working out and eating. It's just all together. This year has given me so much to look forward to and the person that I become, because God, if you got me here, I'm so joyful here. Do y'all see the face? I'm so excited to be where we're going. Okay, so that's what I've learned in a year. Again, it was 1, I didn't like myself. 2, I didn't keep commitments. 3, having business acumen and executing 2 different things. 4, faith is going to be your best guidance. And 5, resourcefulness, using my gifts. And then 6, I learned to submit. So I guess those are 6 things that I learned on my year off. Trying my hardest to become a full-time entrepreneur, having good months, having bad months, having 0 months, doing gig work, all of that. I'll have more gig work stories on our next one, but thanks for tapping in with me. Peace.